Some of you know this about my dad. When I was little, he moved down to Orlando, Florida to become an actor, which is not where you go. He did land a few gigs. He was an extra in the television series of Swamp Thing. He was a truck driver in that. And that's it. And they took things into his own hands, started his own business, and now he's in the sign spinning biz. He calls it live roadside commercials or character directionals. He likes to devise a character and then present it to the cars. He's a leprechaun in front of this Irish pub called the Kerryman, for example, and the rest of his characters are available on his website. So we grew up, around a lot of costumes, like thrifting and going to Ray's Circus of Value and stuff. For example, like he loves a morph suit. You know what those are? It's like what Olympic speed skaters wear, but there's like no hole cut for your face. So you're just like in a single Lycra suit, just one color, head to toe, no skin showing. He wears an orange one in front of the Orange Julius. I don't know how the silhouette of my dad's penis sells smoothies, but that was a bit of a tongue twister and I really got through it. Silhouette of my dad's penis sells smoothies. He heard me say that and he was like, I wear shorts over it. I'm family friendly. It doesn't rain that often in Orlando, and he called me one time after a shift. He said there was a sudden downpour and I almost waterboarded myself. I was like, I couldn't breathe, it was stuck to my face, my fingers are covered, the zipper's on the back of my head, I nearly died. I was like, I had to get into the car, I was so embarrassed. I was like, it's only embarrassing when it's wet? Or Anyway, he made it out. So my sisters and I, we would have to leave our mom here in Dayton and go visit our dad as kids in Orlando because it was court ordered. And we didn't have a ton to do down there because we didn't go to school, so we couldn't make friends or anything like that. And all the neighbors were old or from Florida. So we did a lot of playing in the costumes, and there were a ton of them. The garage was wall to wall filled with costumes. Sometimes we would find strangers in there because they thought it was a garage sale. So one night, it was actually just me and my oldest sister, Megan. We're playing in the costumes, doing a photo shoot. I put on this muscle tee. You know what I mean? It's like a muscle tee, but then there's huge latex muscles that you put your arms through, and then a brown curly wig. And it just wasn't working for me. I was like, what's my motivation? So then Megan put on this gray pinstripe suit, a Dick Tracy hat, and some wingtip shoes. And it was really working for her. She was feeling herself. And so I decided to go with something fresh, unopened. I went and put on this full red lace bodysuit. And then we whipped up the tunes. We were dancing around. Megan's 6 years older than me. We're dancing. I do a high kick, and Megan goes, oh my God, Beth. There's a hole in the crotch of that. I was like, cool. So you can pee? She was like, yeah, take it off right now. So I was just a sixth grader in a sex suit. Then, this is when my dad comes in. I believe we were told to be quiet. And he pokes his head and he's like, girls, get out here. You're gonna wanna see this. And we were like, do we? Wanna see what's in your backyard at midnight in Orlando, Florida? What we didn't expect to see were just 18 raccoons eating out of a huge trough of dog food that he provided them. He goes, I threw in some Hershey Kisses. Even raccoons deserve dessert. I was like, that I agree with, honestly. Everybody deserves dessert. Otherwise, this is disgusting. He said, don't worry, B, every night after they're done eating, I bleach the deck. What? You're telling me you've created for yourself a 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. unpaid raccoon internship? Take back your life, man. As you can imagine, over the years, the numbers skyrocketed exponentially. He was helping rodents flourish in the back. He told me recently they're actually mammals from the weasel family. Well, I thought the highest the number got was 73, but he FaceTimed me a couple weeks ago. I didn't pick up, and if I don't pick up, he'll text right away. He's like, Beth, this is your dad. So our whole text thread is just like, Beth, this is your dad. Beth, this is your dad. Beth, this is your dad. Which seems weird, but like, he's right. I never save his number. So it's good. But he told me that the highest it actually got was 91 raccoons. But back when it was still in the 40s, my sister decided to calculate how much he was spending on dog food per year because she was hoping to go to college. And apparently he was spending $4,000 a year on dog food. Didn't calculate the Hershey Kisses. Apparently those are marginal. He goes, I know it's a problem. But on the off nights that I don't feed them, they take their long, skinny fingers, they pick up rocks from the rock garden, and they roll them up and down against my bedroom window until I come out and feed them. Call an exterminator immediately. But I just didn't think about what that phone call would be like for him. Just like, yeah, we got a little bit of a raccoon problem on our hands. How many? Exactly 91. Do you need their names or? No, okay. How did it happen? Whew, my goodness. I gotta tell you, direct result of my actions. So it's like far too expensive to exterminate. So, and plus that would be a literal genocide. 91 raccoon carcasses, that's like up to here. So he decides to go with trapping and releasing into the wild. He bought 2 traps, but they were expensive. So he made one of his own, which I imagine was just like a piece of fruit in his mouth and his open arms. Like, he was taking them one by one. He was releasing them into the wild, and he was very proud because it took so long, so he liked to update me. He's like, so far I've got 39 raccoons, 2 possums, and a black cat. There's still a bunch of them out there. Biggins. So he was taking him in his car. He drives a Geo, which is essentially a roller skate. And he was putting a blanket over the cage. I was like, so they can't find their way back? Or he's like, I didn't want them to get rattled. He's like, but still, they poke their fingers through the blanket and they sound like Halloween. I don't know if I've painted a good picture of my father thus far, but this is the same man who visited me in Chicago once when I was living there, and he described riding the L train like Jurassic Park. So I have no clue what he's talking about when he says they sound like Halloween. Whether it's like, ree, 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 like one of those ghosts you walk by at CVS, it's like, he's like, did I tell you that one of them got out in the car? I was like, no, but it sounds like you do. Want to tell me? He's like, thankfully I was just outside the driveway, so I opened the back hatch, it hissed at me, and I drove off. I was like, been there. he was taking that, when he said releasing them into the wild, I thought he was just like taking them to his neighbor's trash cans, like one for you, one for you, one for you. But on that FaceTime, I did call him back, and he told me some news developed. He said, under the cover of night, I've been taking them over to the Carryman because there's a freshwater source. Now, if you recall, the Carryman is where my dad is a leprechaun in front of, so he just increased his job description to like, get in here for the lunch deals and don't look at all these raccoons I dropped off. So he goes, I finally got down to the lead raccoon. And I walked him over there. I put his cage down in the grass, and I just was standing there in my swim trunks. I was like, are you baptizing them before they left? He's like, and Snorky walked right out of his cage. They don't always do. And he walked over to me, and with his bare hand, I'm like, what else would it be? Are you putting them in little outfits? Like, I'm gonna need the gloves back, my guy. And the top hat as well. Yeah. Thank you so much. Keep the cane, you're gonna need it. He goes, Snorky walked over to me, and with his bare hand, he went like this on my crock. As if to say thank you. I was like, yeah, or as if to be like, here's rabies, bitch. Thanks for ruining me and my closest 90 relatives' lives. You know what doesn't grow out here? Dog food and Hershey kisses. We're effed. Take me back.